My son, my daughter, stop everything you are doing right now. I, the Almighty God, creator of heaven and earth, am speaking directly to you at this very moment. Do not turn off this video. Do not skip to the next one. Do not ignore my voice. What you are about to hear is the definitive answer to all your desperate prayers, to all the silent pleas you made in the sleepless nights. I saw every tear you shed. I heard every sigh of anguish. I know the crushing weight you carry alone, that weight that no one around you can fully understand. Let me tell you something. I know exactly what you're going through. I know those debts you hide from everyone. I know that shame you feel when you have to say no to your children because you simply don't have the money. I know that tightness in your chest when you open your bank account and see that you barely have enough to get through the week. I know that paralyzing fear that overwhelms you when you think about the future and see no way out. I've seen you working hard, striving to the utmost, trying to do everything right, but still not seeing results. I've seen you questioning why other people prosper while you remain stagnant. I've seen you reach your limit, to the point of almost giving up on everything. But I didn't bring you this far to see you give up. I didn't allow you to survive everything you've survived only to abandon you now. Today, at this precise moment, in this divine encounter that is no coincidence, I have come personally to rescue you. It's no accident that this video appeared on your phone. It's not luck that you decided to watch it right now. This is a kairos, a predetermined time, a window opened in the heavens especially for you. And when I open a window, all of hell can try to close it, but no one can. When I decree something about someone's life, nothing and no one can undo it. You may be at home alone right now or surrounded by people. You may be at work, on public transport, lying in bed, unable to sleep. It doesn't matter where you are physically. What matters is that spiritually, at this moment, you and I are face to face. And I have come to tell you one word: enough. Enough of sleepless nights because of financial worries. Enough of counting pennies to see if you'll be able to buy the basics. Enough of humiliating yourself by borrowing money. Enough of feeling ashamed when someone asks how you are doing financially. Enough of pretending everything is okay when inside you are falling apart. I have decided that today is the day of your complete and definitive turnaround. Not tomorrow, not next week, not next month, now. As you listen to me, as my voice penetrates your spirit, a monumental shift is being activated in the heavenly realms. Decrees are being released. Angels are being sent. Doors that have been closed for years are being opened with supernatural force. Financial chains that have bound your family for generations are being broken this very second. But I need your cooperation. I need you to demonstrate that you are listening to me, that you recognize my voice, that you are willing to obey. So go to the comments section of this video right now and write these words: Lord, I hear you. This is your first declaration of faith, the first act of obedience that opens the floodgates of heaven upon your life. As you write these words, angels are being activated to begin working in your favor. Don't overthink it. Don't hesitate. Don't put it off. Do it now. Because every second of obedience counts. Every act of faith is recorded. And what I have prepared for you is so great, so powerful, so supernatural that when it fully manifests, everyone around you will know that only God could have done it. You were not created to live in scarcity. You were created in my image to live in complete abundance. And I have come personally to ensure that this happens now. Now let me tell you exactly what I know about you. You woke up today worried about money. Maybe you opened your bank app and felt that tightness in your chest when you saw your balance. Maybe you received another overdue bill notification, another collection message, another reminder that you're late. Maybe you owe money to people close to you and don't know how you're going to pay. Maybe you're working 2, 3 different jobs, leaving home at dawn and returning late at night. And even so, even with all this effort, the money simply isn't enough. There's never enough left over. You never reach your goal. You're constantly chasing after it, trying to plug one hole here while another opens up there. I know you've already thought, I can't take it anymore. I know you've reached that breaking point where the pressure is so great you can barely breathe. I know you've considered giving up on everything, abandoning everything, because it seems that no matter how hard you try, nothing changes. But I won't let you give up. I didn't bring you to this point. I didn't allow you to survive everything you've survived, only to abandon you now halfway through. I came personally to rescue you from this financial prison that has been stealing your peace, your joy, your hope. Do you know those moments when you look at your children and feel deep guilt because you can't give them what they deserve? When they ask for something simple and you have to make excuses because you simply don't have the money? When you see other children with things yours will never have and your heart breaks? I've seen each of those moments. I've seen you swallowing your tears so as not to show weakness in front of them. I've seen you feeling less of a father, less of a mother, because of the lack of resources. And I want you to know, this is not your fault. You haven't failed. You have been a warrior, a fighter, but there is a spiritual prison that needs to be broken. Do you know that feeling when you look at your parents getting old and you so desperately wish you could help them, comfort them after everything they've done for you, but you can barely help yourself? Do you know that feeling when you have a dream buried deep in your heart, something you've always wanted to achieve, but you don't even dare think about it anymore because it seems so distant, so impossible, so far removed from your reality that it hurts just to imagine it? I've seen you killing your own dreams day after day because survival consumes all your energy. I've seen you giving up on living, just existing, just surviving, just enduring another day. But I did not create you in my image and likeness to live in scarcity. You were not made merely to survive. You were created to live in abundance, in fullness, in limitless prosperity. And what is holding you back now is not a lack of ability, not a lack of intelligence, not a lack of effort. It is a spiritual prison, a financial curse that I have come to break today over your life. And when I break something, it stays broken forever. When I set someone free, that person is truly free. But before I reveal the exact value of the blessing I am releasing upon you now, I need you to share this message with at least 7 people. Because it's not just about you, it's about everyone around you who also needs this liberation. 7 is the number of my perfection. 7 is the number of completeness. And when you share it with 7 people, You are saying to the spiritual world, I believe, and I want others to be freed as well. Each person you reach with this message is a powerful seed planted in your own harvest of miracles. So don't keep this word to yourself. Be generous with what you are receiving. Share it right now. Stop for a moment and send it to 7 people. It can be on WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, wherever. But do it now, because quick obedience brings quick blessing, and what comes next will completely change your life. Did you share? Then now prepare your heart, prepare your mind, prepare your spirit for what I am about to reveal. Because what comes next will seem impossible to your natural eyes. It will seem absurd. It will seem too big to be true. And that is precisely why I need you to have your spirit open, your faith activated. Because your rational mind will try to reject what I am about to decree over your life. Your human logic will try to convince you that this cannot be real. But I do not operate by human logic. I am not limited by natural laws. I am the God of the impossible. I am the one who makes the sea part, who makes the sun stand still, who resurrects the dead, who turns water into wine. When I decide to bless someone, I don't do it halfway. When I decide to set someone free, I don't leave behind any remnants of imprisonment. When I decide to prosper someone, I don't give crumbs, I give overflowing abundance. And what I have prepared for you is not a small increase. It's not a gradual improvement. It's not temporary relief. It's a complete, total, radical transformation that will change not only your life, but the lives of your entire family, your entire generation. It's such a powerful turnaround that people will look at you in a few months and won't believe you're the same person. But before I reveal the exact number, the specific value of this blessing that is being released upon you now, I need to warn you about something. The enemy of your soul will try to steal this word from your heart. He will whisper doubts. He will bring thoughts of disbelief. He will try to make you turn off this video before you hear everything. Because he knows very well that if you truly believe what I am saying, if you receive this word with faith, his life of oppression over you is over. His feast of keeping you trapped in scarcity is over. His reign of misery over your family has been canceled. Therefore, at this moment, before I reveal the value, I need you to do 2 things that demonstrate your complete agreement with me. First, I need you to understand that this is not an empty promise. I am not human that I should lie. I am not a man to go back on my word. When I promised Abraham and Sarah a son, even though they were too old, I fulfilled it. When I promised to take Joseph out of prison and place him in the palace, I fulfilled it. When I promised to restore everything to Job 2-fold, I fulfilled it. And when I promise you something now, I will fulfill it. There is no possibility of failure. There is no chance that I will not accomplish it. What comes out of my mouth does not return empty. So listen carefully to what comes next. The number I am about to speak was not chosen by chance. It carries profound spiritual meaning. It represents perfection, completeness, fullness. And when you hear this number, when it enters your ears and descends into your heart, something will change within you. A hope that was dead will be resurrected. A faith that was dormant will awaken. A dream you had buried will come back to life. Because my word has creative power. My word not only informs, it transforms. It not only communicates, it accomplishes. But before I tell you the exact amount, like this video now as a sign that you are in complete agreement with me, and subscribe to this channel because I will continue talking to you in the coming days until the full manifestation. Activate the notification bell. Don't miss a single word from me, because what comes after this revelation are specific instructions, supernatural strategies, divine guidance that you will need to follow precisely. This is not an isolated video. This is the beginning of a 90-day journey that will culminate in the greatest financial transformation you have ever experienced. So make sure you are connected, that you are subscribed, that you will not miss anything I have to tell you. Now take a deep breath, open your heart, and get ready. Because the number I am about to reveal is the number of your total liberation. Today, at this very moment, in this eternal instant when you and I are face to face, I decree upon your life the blessing of $777 million. Yes, you heard correctly. 777 million. 777. 300 and 800 million reais. This is not a random number. This is not a value I chose without purpose. The number 7 in my word represents perfection, completeness, fullness. When I created the world, I rested on the seventh day because the work was complete. It was perfect. And now, by decreeing 777 million upon you, I am declaring triple perfection, absolute completeness, total fullness over every area of your financial life. This is the number of your ultimate liberation. This is the value of your economic redemption. This is the exact amount that will take you from where you are and put you where you should always have been. $777 million. Let this number penetrate deep into your spirit. Let it echo in your mind. Let it awaken something within you that has been dormant for years. Because this is not just a number. It is a celestial decree. It is a divine sentence. It is an order being issued now from the heavenly places and that will manifest in the natural world. I know your mind is trying to process this. I know you're thinking, how? From where? When? And I tell you, it's not your responsibility to figure out how. The how is my problem. I specialize in opening paths where there are no paths. I am a master at making the seemingly impossible happen. I can make money come from directions you never imagined. I can open doors that have been locked for decades. I can connect you with people who will completely change your financial reality. I have 1,000 ways to bring those 777 million into your hands. And you will witness every supernatural step. Now listen to the timeline of this manifestation. In 7 days, you will begin to see the first signs. They may be small, they may be subtle, but they will be real. It could be an unexpected phone call. It could be an opportunity arising out of nowhere. It could be a brilliant idea that will appear in your mind. It could be a providential encounter with someone. Pay attention, because when I begin to move, I leave clues. In 30 days, the changes will be visible. You will begin to see concrete transformations in your financial situation. Doors opening, money starting to flow, debts starting to decrease, opportunities multiplying. And in 90 days, the complete manifestation. $777 million in your reality, in your account, in your hands. This blessing is not a loan you will have to repay. It is not something temporary that comes and goes. It is not a stroke of luck that comes today and disappears tomorrow. It is permanent divine provision. It is sustainable wealth. It is abundance that has come to stay. When I bless someone, I don't do it halfway. When I prosper someone, it's not just for a season, it's for the rest of their life. And more than that, it's for future generations. Your children, your grandchildren, your entire family will be impacted by this decree that is being released upon you now. I see you in the house of your dreams. Not that small house you'd be content with. I'm talking about the house you never even dared to dream of. Spacious, beautiful, comfortable, in a wonderful location. I see you without any debt, not a single overdue bill, not a single bad credit record, not a single debt collection notice. Totally free, completely paid off, absolutely liberated. I see you helping your family, your parents living comfortably, your children studying at the best schools, your siblings being blessed through you. I see you traveling, seeing places you only ever saw in photos. I see you truly resting, sleeping peacefully, waking up without that weight on your chest. $777 million. This is the decree. This is the sentence. It is done in heaven, and now it will be manifested on earth. But now listen very carefully. This decree that I have just released upon you, these $777 million need to be activated in the spiritual world. It is not enough to just hear. It is not enough to just agree mentally. It is not enough to just wish for it to happen. You need to act. You need to demonstrate your faith through concrete action, because faith without works is dead. Belief without movement does not generate manifestation. And I did not bring you here just to hear a nice word and leave the same way you arrived. I brought you here to transform you. And transformation requires participation. In the spiritual world, there are laws, there are principles, there are protocols that need to be followed. When I told Moses to raise his staff over the sea, he had to obey. When I told Joshua to march around Jericho, he had to obey. When I told Naaman to dip himself 7 times in the river, he had to obey. And now, when I tell you to write something specific, you must obey. This is not a suggestion. This is not an optional request. This is a divine instruction that will determine the speed and intensity of the manifestation of your blessing. The number I have just decreed for you has 4 important digits: 7, 7, 7, and millions. But now I will give you an activation code, a prophetic number that, when you declare it publicly, seals this decree in the spiritual world and releases angels to begin working immediately on the physical manifestation of this blessing. This number is 7, 7, 7, 7. 4 sevens, not 3, not 5, 4. Because 4 represents the 4 corners of the earth, the 4 directions from which your provision will come: north, south, east, west. From all sides, from all directions, wealth is being directed to you now. 7, 7, 7, 7. Each 7 represents a layer of blessing. The first 7 is the perfection of God. The second 7 is the completeness of the work. The third 7 is the fullness of the manifestation. The fourth 7 is the eternity of provision. When you write these 4 sevens together, you are releasing a 4-fold declaration in the spiritual realm. You are saying, I believe in the perfection of God. I believe in the completeness of the work. I believe in the fullness of the manifestation. I believe in the eternity of provision. And when you declare this publicly, when you write it where others can see, you are testifying before heaven, before earth, before angels, before demons, that you have received this word and you believe in it. Every time someone writes 7777 in the comments of this video, a wave of spiritual energy is released. Angels receive orders to act. Doors begin to unlock. Paths begin to open. And when thousands of people write this number at the same time, a powerful celestial movement is generated. It's as if all of heaven is paying attention and saying, "These people believed. These people obeyed. Now let's manifest what was promised." That's why it's so important that you not only read this number, not only think this number, but that you write this number. So go to the comments right now and write just this: 7777. These four numbers are the activation code for your blessing of $777 million. Write nothing before, write nothing after. Just the 4 sevens. Because this is a specific spiritual code. It's like a password that opens a celestial vault. It's like a key that unlocks a dimensional door. And the moment you write, the exact second you type that last 7 and send it, something happens in the invisible. Angels are dispatched. Decrees are signed. Releases are authorized. I know it may seem too simple. I know your mind may be saying, "How can writing a number change my life?" But I don't operate by human logic. I operate by obedience. And when you obey one of my instructions, even if it seems simple, even if it seems small, you are releasing the supernatural to act in your life. Do it now. Don't put it off. Don't think you'll do it when the video ends. Now. Pause if necessary. But write 7777. Because every second you delay is a second less of manifestation. And I want you to receive it quickly. I want you to see results soon. Therefore, obey now. You activated the decree. You wrote the 4 sevens. In the spiritual world, angels have already received your orders and are working in your favor. But now I need to teach you a powerful principle of my kingdom, the principle of multiplication through generosity. Because you were not chosen only to receive, you were chosen to be a channel, an instrument, a bridge through which I will reach thousands of other people who are in exactly the same situation you were in just a few minutes ago. Desperate people. People without hope. People about to give up. And I want to use you to rescue them. There is a spiritual law that I established from the beginning of creation, the law of sowing and reaping. Whatever a man sows, that he will also reap. When you plant a seed of corn, you don't harvest one ear, you harvest hundreds of grains. When you plant a seed of wheat, you don't receive one grain back, you receive a multiplication. And the same happens in the spiritual realm. When you sow a word of faith, when you share a message of liberation, when you spread a decree of blessing, you are not losing anything. You are multiplying everything. You are planting seeds that will generate an abundant harvest in your own life. Every person you reach with this message, every life you touch with this video, every heart you impact with this decree, becomes a powerful seed in the spiritual field of your prosperity. And I am the God who makes the seed grow. I am the one who sends the rain, the sun, the right time, and transforms a small seed into a gigantic harvest. So when you share this message, you are not just doing others a favor. You are investing in your own miracle. You are accelerating your own manifestation. You are increasing the size of your own blessing. Think about it. Right now, as you listen to me, there are people on your contact list who are going through the same despair you were going through. Maybe a friend who lost their job. Maybe a cousin who is drowning in debt. Maybe a neighbor who is about to lose their home. Maybe a coworker who is crying in secret because they don't know how they will feed their children. These people need to hear what you just heard. They need to receive what you just received. And I am giving you the honor, the privilege, the responsibility of being my messenger to them. When you share this message, you're not just sending a video. You're sending hope. You're sending faith. You're sending life. You are being my outstretched hands to catch someone who is falling. You are being my voice to speak to someone who is silent. You are being my instrument to free someone who is trapped. And I reward those who work in my field. I bless those who become channels of my blessings. I multiply upon those who multiply to others. Imagine this scene. You share with 7 people. Of those 7, 3 receive the word with faith. Of those 3, their lives are completely transformed. And when those people witness the miracle that happened, they will remember that it was you who sent the message. They will remember that it was through you that they learned of this decree. And that gratitude, that joy, that recognition transforms into a blessing upon your life. Because what you do for others, I do for you. When you open doors for others, I open doors for you. When you set others free, I set you free even more. So grab your phone now and share this message, because the more you sow this word of liberation, the greater the harvest of wealth you will receive in the next 90 days. Don't keep something so powerful to yourself. Don't be selfish with such a great miracle. Share it on WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, Telegram, wherever you have contacts. Send it to family groups. Send it to work colleagues. Send it to childhood friends. Each share is a prophetic declaration. I believe in this so much that I want others to receive it too. And that declaration echoes in the heavens and activates truckloads of blessings in your direction. So share it now. And while you share, let me show you exactly what your life will be like in 90 days when the 777 million are fully manifested. Now, let me show you exactly what your life will be like 90 days from now when these 777 million are fully manifested. Close your eyes for a moment if you wish, or keep them open, but use your imagination with me. I see you waking up on a sunny morning. It's not that usual anxious awakening, racing against the clock, worried about the day. It's a peaceful, natural awakening in your own time. You open your eyes and look around. This is no longer that cramped house where you barely fit. This is no longer that small apartment full of overdue bills. This is the house of your dreams. A spacious house with large bedrooms, a huge living room, and a modern kitchen where everything works perfectly. You have a garden where you can sit and have breakfast, listening to the birds. You have plenty of space for your children to play. You have your own office where you can work in peace. Each room has been decorated exactly the way you always wanted, but never could afford. The walls are the color you chose. The furniture is new, beautiful, and comfortable. Nothing is broken and waiting to be repaired. Nothing is improvised. Everything is high quality. Everything is yours, bought, paid off. No endless installments, no debts weighing you down. I see you leaving this house and getting into a new car. Not that old car that was always breaking down, that you were ashamed to park in certain places. A new car, smelling new, working perfectly. The model you always admired when you saw it on the street. And you get in without that anxiety of, will it start? Will there be problems? You get in calmly, turn on the radio, and drive wherever you want. Because now you have freedom. Freedom to come and go. Freedom to choose. Freedom to decide your own day. I see you walking into a store, not to browse and leave, not to daydream about things you can't afford, but to actually buy what you want. You see a beautiful piece of clothing, and you don't need to look at the price tag first. You see a gift for someone you love, and you simply buy it, without calculating if you'll have money left over at the end of the month. Because you no longer live in scarcity. You're no longer counting pennies. You have abundance. You have provision. You have resources to spare. I see you traveling. Not that sacrifice trip saving up for years to afford a few days away, but a real trip. You choose a beautiful place, maybe a paradise beach, maybe a country you've always wanted to visit, and you simply go. You buy the ticket, book the best hotel, not the cheapest, the best. And you travel with your family, with the people you love, creating memories that are worth more than any amount of money. Your children laughing, your parents relaxing, everyone together, happy, without worries. I see you sleeping peacefully. Not that restless sleep, full of nightmares about debt and problems, but that deep, restorative, tranquil sleep. You lay your head on the pillow and don't spend 2 hours tossing and turning, thinking about bills. You simply sleep. And you wake up refreshed, rested, ready to enjoy another day of a full life. Because financial peace brings emotional peace. When money isn't a problem, life becomes lighter. Relationships improve. Health improves. Everything improves. Are you seeing this life? Are you feeling this reality? Then like this video now as your definitive yes to this vision, and subscribe to this channel to continue receiving the instructions that will lead you there. Because what I am showing you is not fantasy. It is not an illusion. It is not a fairy tale. It is your real future 90 days from now. It is the life that is being prepared for you while you listen to me. Every detail I have described is a prophecy being released. And my prophecy never fails. What I say, I fulfill. What I show, I accomplish. So engrave this image in your heart. Hold fast to this vision, because it is yours. But it's not just about material things. It's not just about a nice house, a new car, trips. What I'm giving you is much greater than physical possessions. I'm giving you something that money usually can't buy. Peace. True peace. Deep peace. Peace you haven't felt in years. Let me show you what it's like to live without the crushing weight of debt. Imagine opening your phone and no longer having those dozens of collection messages. No more calls from banks, finance companies, people demanding payment of what you owe. Imagine accessing your CPF, Brazilian tax ID, and seeing regular status, clean name, no outstanding debts, no restrictions, no debts. All those bills that haunted you have been paid. All those overdue installments have been settled. That payment book you didn't know how you were going to finish paying, paid off. That loan you took out in desperation, with the interest only increasing, paid off. That bad credit record that prevented you from doing anything, clean. You are free, completely free, financially free. And this freedom brings a lightness you didn't even remember existed. You can walk with your head held high. You can look people in the eye without feeling ashamed. You can meet that friend who lent you money and no longer need to look away. Do you know that horrible feeling of seeing someone on the street and having to cross to the other side because you owe them money? That's over. Do you know that anxiety of answering the phone and it being another debt collector? That's over. Do you know that constant fear of knocking on someone's door and finding out it's a bailiff? That's over. All of that is in the past, because now you not only don't owe anyone anything, but you have resources to spare. You've moved from being a debtor to being a provider. You, who always needed to ask for help, can now help others. You, who always depended on the generosity of others, can now be generous. I see you going to visit your parents, no longer with that heartache of not being able to help them, but with gifts in hand, their electricity bill paid, the expensive medicine they needed bought, their house renovation financed. You can finally repay everything they did for you. You can give them comfort, dignity, peace of mind in their final years. And that is priceless. Seeing your parents resting, well cared for, knowing that you are responsible for it, is worth more than all the millions in the world. I see you with your children, no longer saying no to everything, no longer making excuses for why they can't have what their friends have, but saying yes. Yes to the course they want to take. Yes to the better school. Yes to the toy they asked for. Yes to new clothes. Yes to the birthday party. Yes to everything that is good, that is healthy, that will build happy memories in their childhood. Your children will not grow up with the same scarcity scars that you grew up with. They will grow up in abundance, in security, in peace. I see their relationships being restored because money, or the lack thereof, causes friction. It causes arguments. It causes resentment. How many marriages are destroyed because of financial problems? How many families are divided because of money? But when abundance arrives, when nothing is lacking anymore, people relax. The fights decrease. Love flows better. Patience increases. Generosity appears. And relationships that were hanging by a thread are restored, because the financial pressure that was crushing everything has been removed. You will no longer wake up in the middle of the night with that tightness in your chest, wondering how you're going to pay next month's bills. You will no longer avoid looking at your bank statement because you're afraid of what you'll find. You will no longer feel that lump in your throat when someone invites you to something and you know you don't have the money to go. all of that is over. You are no longer a hostage to money. You are no longer a slave to financial circumstances. You are free. And you know what the best part of all this is? It's not the house. It's not the car. It's not the money in the bank. The best part of all is peace. That deep peace you haven't felt in so long, you've even forgotten what it's like. True peace. Peace that lets you sleep through the night without waking up startled. Peace that lets you wake up in the morning without that instant weight on your chest. Peace that allows you to look to the future without fear. This is the peace I am bringing to you, along with the 777 million. Because money without peace is worthless. Wealth without tranquility is a gilded prison. But when you have abundance with peace, when you have provision with rest for your soul, then you truly have a full life. You will finally be able to breathe, really breathe. Not that short, trapped, anxious breath of someone who is always on alert, but that deep, long, relaxed breath of someone who knows that everything is all right, who knows that they are protected, who knows that God is watching over them. You will be able to sit in a chair and simply be there, without your mind racing, thinking about 1,000 problems at once. You will be able to slowly drink your coffee, looking out the window, enjoying the moment. You will be able to play with your children without mentally calculating bills. You will be present, truly present, because your mind will no longer be hijacked by financial worries. Do you know that fake smile you learn to give when someone asks how you are? That "I'm fine," you say, but inside you're crumbling? You won't need to pretend anymore. Your smile will be real. Your joy will be genuine. Because when the financial pressure is lifted from you, when you're no longer just fighting to survive, you rediscover who you truly are. You rediscover your dreams. You rediscover your talents. You rediscover your purpose. Because scarcity kills all of that. Lack of money leaves you unable to think about anything other than surviving. But abundance frees you to truly live. I see you having time for the things that truly matter. Time to be with the people you love. Time to develop that hidden talent you've been keeping hidden. Time to serve, to help, to make a difference in the lives of others. Because when you no longer have to work 18 hours a day just to pay bills, when you have sufficient resources, you have the freedom to choose how to use your time. And time is the most precious commodity there is. I gave every human being the same number of hours in a day. But not everyone has the freedom to use those hours as they wish. Most are trapped, enslaved by money or the lack thereof. But you will be free. This is the life I planned for you from the beginning. This is the life that was destined for you even before you were born. I did not create anyone to live in misery. I do not bring forth children to suffer need. Everything I do is good, abundant, and complete. The problem is that the enemy stole, destroyed, and blocked it. But I have come personally now to restore everything, to give back everything, to multiply everything. And it is not just restitution of what was stolen. It is multiplication. It is abundance upon abundance. It is overflowing blessing. If this peace, this life, this complete transformation is what you want, like this video now as your ultimate amen to everything I have just prophesied about you. Because every like is a spiritual agreement. It's you saying, Lord, I believe, I receive, I accept. And when you declare this publicly, when you demonstrate your faith through an action, I have legal basis in the spiritual world to act with even more power in your life. So, like now. Don't overthink it, just like. Because this simple gesture has eternal implications. But now, before I continue showing you more details of this transformation, you need to understand something extremely urgent. Something that can determine whether you will receive all of this in the next 90 days, or whether you will miss this window that is open now. Now, you need to understand something extremely urgent. Something that can make all the difference between you receiving everything I have just prophesied or missing this opportunity. There is an open window on your life right now. A window that I have opened specifically now, at this time, at this hour, on this day. But you need to understand an important spiritual truth. Windows opened by God do not remain open indefinitely. They have a set time, a deadline, a specific period of validity. And when that period ends, the window closes. And it can take years, sometimes decades, before it opens again. Let me explain something about time. There are two different Greek words in my word to describe time. The first is chronos, which is chronological time, clock time, the days, months, and years that normally pass. But there is another word, kairos. Kairos is the opportune time, the right moment, the specific window where something special happens. It is God's time moving in an extraordinary way. And you are in a kairos now. Not in ordinary chronos, in a divine kairos. In a specific moment where the heavens are open, where blessing is flowing, where the impossible becomes possible. But kairos doesn't last forever. Kairos has a deadline. When I told Noah to build the ark, there was a kairos, a specific time when he could build and enter. And when that time ended, the door of the ark was closed. And even the people who knocked later, when they saw the rain beginning, couldn't enter, because the kairos had passed. When the 10 virgins awaited the bridegroom, 5 were prepared and 5 were not. And when the bridegroom arrived, those who were ready entered. The others went out to get oil, and when they returned, the door was closed. The kairos had passed. I'm not telling you this to scare you. I'm telling you this because I love you too much to let you miss this opportunity because of procrastination, because of hesitation, because of disbelief. This window that's open to you now won't be open next month. It won't be open next year. It's open today. It's open now. And what you do in the next few hours, in the next few days, will determine whether you walk through that window or whether it closes in front of you. I know how the human mind works. You hear something powerful and think, I'll do that later. I'll think about it more. I'll see if it's true. But while you hesitate, while you doubt, while you postpone, time passes. The kairos runs out. The window closes. And suddenly you look and realize you've lost. And then comes the regret, the pain, the lament of knowing you had the opportunity in your hand, but let it slip away. I don't want that to happen to you. I didn't open this window to provoke you, to show you something you can't have. I opened it because I want you to enter, to receive, to be transformed. So share this message right now with as many people as you can reach, because every second of hesitation is a second less within this passing Kairos. Don't put it off until tomorrow. Don't put it off until later. Don't wait until the video is over. Pause now if necessary and share it. Because swift obedience guarantees swift blessing, and slow hesitation can cost the complete loss of opportunity. I am being direct with you because I am your father. And loving parents don't hide difficult truths from their children. Loving parents warn, advise, protect. And I am warning you, this is your moment. This is your Kairos. This is your appointed time. Don't let it pass. This is not an ordinary time in your life. You need to understand the magnitude of what is happening now. You didn't arrive here by chance. You didn't click on this video by luck. You are not listening to me by coincidence. This is a Kairos moment in your personal history. And Kairos, as I have already explained to you, is not ordinary time. It is divine time. It is supernatural intervention. It is the exact moment when heaven touches earth in an extraordinary way. And these moments are rare, extremely rare. Some people live an entire life without experiencing a single Kairos. They spend decades in Chronos, in ordinary time, in routine, in sameness, waiting for something to change. But nothing changes because they never find their appointed moment. But you have found yours. Today, now, while you listen to me. This is your burning bush. This is your calling moment. When I appeared to Abraham and told him to leave the land where he was and go to a land that I would show him, that was a Kairos moment. Abraham could have hesitated. He could have said, "I'll think about it. I'll plan it. I'll wait for the right moment." But he did not hesitate. He obeyed immediately. And he became the father of nations. He became the man through whom all the families of the earth would be blessed. That swift obedience at a Kairos moment determined not only his destiny, but the destiny of billions of people. When I appeared to Moses in the burning bush and told him that he would be the deliverer of my people, that was a Kairos. Moses was 80 years old. He could have thought, "I'm too old. I've missed my chance. This isn't for me." But he responded to the Kairos, and he became the greatest deliverer in the history of my people. When the prophet Samuel went to Jesse's house to anoint a king, and all the older, taller, stronger brothers passed before him, but I said no, none of them. That was a Kairos. And when the boy David was called from the field, dirty, tending sheep, and was anointed king, that moment determined that he would be the man after my own heart. Understand what I am telling you. Kairos doesn't repeat itself easily. This may be the only great Kairos of your life. The only moment where I open the heavens completely above you and say, "Now." It is now. Receive now. Entire generations pass without experiencing what you are experiencing at this moment. Millions of people at this very second are doing ordinary things, living ordinary lives, trapped in Chronos. But you are in a Kairos. You were set apart, chosen, called to this specific moment. And what you do with it will echo for the rest of your life and beyond. But Kairos demands an immediate response. It doesn't wait for you to get comfortable. It doesn't wait for you to understand everything. It doesn't wait for your circumstances to be perfect. It demands that you take a step of faith now, even without fully understanding, even with fear, even with doubt. Because faith is not the absence of doubt. Faith is obedience despite doubt. Faith is action even when logic says to wait. And I am calling you to an act of faith at this moment. So subscribe to this channel now, because in the coming days, I will give you specific instructions, supernatural strategies, divine guidance that you will need to follow within this Kairos to ensure the complete manifestation of the 777 million. This is not an isolated video. This is the beginning of a 90-day journey where I will guide you step by step. I will tell you exactly what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. But if you are not subscribed, if you are not connected, you will miss crucial instructions. And missing an instruction within a Kairos event can cost you the entire blessing. So don't risk it. Subscribe now. Activate the bell. Make sure you don't miss a single word of mine, because every word I speak in the coming days is a piece of the puzzle that will complete your total transformation. But now, I need to show you something serious. Something you need to see to understand the consequences of ignoring a Kairos event. Now, I need to show you the other side. And I do this not to frighten you, not to manipulate you, but because I love you. And whoever truly loves doesn't hide the consequences. Whoever truly loves doesn't let the person walk towards a precipice without warning. So listen to me carefully, because what I'm about to tell you may seem harsh, but it's necessary. When a Kairos moment passes, when a divine window closes, the regret that follows is one of the bitterest there is, because it's not regret for having tried and failed. It's regret for not having even tried. It's the lament of knowing you had the opportunity in your hand and let it slip away. Remember the rich young man who came to me? He asked me what he needed to do to inherit eternal life. I looked at him with love and said, "Sell everything you have, give to the poor, and follow me." That was his Kairos. That was the decisive moment of his life. But he hesitated. He looked at his riches, his possessions, his comfort zone, and chose to stay where he was. And the Bible says he went away sad. Do you understand? He went away sad. He missed his Kairos, and he knew it. And that sadness accompanied him for the rest of his life. Because he always knew he had the opportunity to walk beside me, to be part of something extraordinary. But he chose the security of the known. Think of Esau. He had the birthright, the blessing of the firstborn, a guaranteed future of prosperity and leadership. But in a moment of hunger, in a moment of weakness, he sold everything for a bowl of food. He despised what was eternal for what was immediate. And then, when he tried to recover, when he cried and begged for the blessing, it was too late. The Kairos had passed. The opportunity was lost. And he lived the rest of his life knowing that for a moment of hesitation, for an impulsive choice, he lost his entire destiny. I don't want this to happen to you. I don't want you to look back a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, and remember this moment, this video, this word, and think, I should have believed. I should have obeyed. I should have acted. Because this kind of regret corrodes the soul. It haunts you. It wakes you up in the middle of the night. It appears every time you face financial difficulties. You'll remember, I had a chance to get out of this, and I didn't take it. And the worst part is seeing others prospering, seeing people who were in the same situation as you, who watched the same video, who heard the same message, but who obeyed. And now they are living the transformation you saw prophesied. They bought their dream house. They paid off all their debts. They are traveling, helping their families, living in peace. And you remain in the same place, in the same struggle, in the same scarcity. Not because I didn't want to bless you, but because you didn't want to receive. Because you hesitated when you should have acted. Because you doubted when you should have believed. Understand, I'm not telling you this to make you feel bad. I'm telling you this to wake you up, to break any trace of procrastination, disbelief, or hesitation that may still be in your heart. Because I came to rescue you. I came to set you free. I came to prosper you. But I cannot do this if you don't cooperate. I cannot force blessings on those who don't want to receive them. I cannot transform those who insist on remaining the same. I need your faith. I need your obedience. I need your action. Therefore, what comes next is crucial. I'm going to give you 7 specific actions, 7 steps of obedience that you need to follow precisely. These are not suggestions. They are not optional. They are divine instructions that will seal this decree on your life and ensure that you enter through this window before it closes. So prepare your heart, open your mind, cancel any distraction, because what I'm about to tell you will separate those who only hear from those who truly receive. It will separate those who desire change from those who bring about change. It will separate those who dream of transformation from those who live the transformation. And I want you to be in the second group. So now listen to me with complete attention. Now listen to me with complete attention. I'm going to give you 7 specific actions of obedience. 7 steps you need to follow precisely to seal this $777 million decree over your life. Each action has a spiritual purpose. Each step activates something in the invisible world. And when you complete all 7 actions, you will have secured your entry through this window that is open now. So don't skip any. Don't ignore any. Don't think any is less important. All are crucial. All are necessary. Let's begin. The first action is the verbal declaration. You need to speak aloud. Not just think, not just agree mentally. You need to open your mouth and declare. Because there is creative power in the spoken word. When I created the world, I spoke. I said, "Let there be light," and there was light. I didn't just think of light, I spoke light into existence. And you were created in my image and likeness. So your mouth also has creative power. The Bible says that death and life are in the power of the tongue. What you speak, you create. What you declare, you establish. So now, at this moment, you will declare aloud. Repeat after me. I accept and decree upon my life the blessing of $777 million. Speak now, out loud. It doesn't matter if there's someone nearby. It doesn't matter if you're in a public place. Lower the volume if you need to, but speak. Because when you speak these words, when you open your mouth and declare this decree, angels are released. Spiritual forces are set in motion. Things begin to happen in the invisible realm. Your verbal declaration is the authorization I need to act with full power in your life. So speak, declare, establish. Say aloud, I accept and believe in the 777 million. This is the first action, and you have just completed it. The second action is internal approval. This is more subtle, but equally important. It's not enough to just speak with your mouth. You need to agree with your heart. Because when the mouth says one thing and the heart doubts another, there is no manifestation. There is a spiritual principle that says, if you believe in your heart and confess with your mouth, you will be saved. Heart and mouth need to be aligned. So now, after you have declared with your mouth, I need you to let your heart agree. Let your soul say yes. Let your whole inner being approve what your mouth has said. Close your eyes for a second if you wish. Take a deep breath. And there, in the most intimate place of your being, say, I agree. I approve. I receive. I believe. Don't let doubts whisper. Don't let disbelief plant seeds. Cancel every contrary thought. And let your whole heart, your whole mind, your whole soul say a giant amen to what I am doing in your life. Because when there is inner alignment, when there is no conflict between what you say and what you believe, the manifestation is quick, it is powerful, it is inevitable. So now go to the comments and write just this: I accept and believe. This is your public confirmation before heaven and earth that you have completed the first two actions. When you write these words publicly, you are bearing witness. You are declaring for all to see, I am not ashamed of my faith. I am not hiding what I believe. I am announcing that I have received this decree and I am in total agreement with it. And this public testimony has spiritual weight. It binds your declaration to the visible world. It makes it real, concrete, verifiable. You can no longer go back. You can no longer say that you didn't hear, that you didn't understand, that you didn't want to. You have declared it publicly. You have testified openly. And now heaven has full legal basis to manifest everything in your life. Do it now. Pause if necessary, but write in the comments, I accept and believe. And when you do this, know that you have just completed 2 of the 7 actions of obedience. 5 remain. And the third action is a physical sign that will demonstrate your complete agreement with everything I am doing. The third action is a physical sign of agreement. You have already declared it with your mouth. You have already approved it with your heart. Now you need to make a concrete gesture that symbolizes the complete agreement between you and me. And that gesture is simple: liking this video. I know it may seem basic. I know you may be thinking, how can pressing a button have spiritual power? But let me explain something profound about the principle of agreement. In my word, it is written, if 2 on earth agree about anything they ask for, it will be done for them by my Father in heaven. Do you understand? Agreement has power. Covenant has strength. When 2 parties are aligned, when there is no resistance, when there is complete harmony, the impossible becomes possible. And at this moment, I am making a deal with you. I am declaring $777 million upon you, and I need you to agree. I need you to say yes. I need you to visibly demonstrate that you are in total agreement with me. A like isn't about ego. It's not about numbers. It's not about the vanity of the person who made the video. It's about you publicly demonstrating that you agree with what I am doing. When you like this video, you are saying before the digital world, before the algorithm, before the entire spiritual world, God and I are in agreement. I am saying yes to what He is declaring about me. I am not ashamed. I am not hiding. I am openly affirming that I received this word and I am in total agreement with it. Think of it like a contract. When two people make a legal agreement, both sign. One signature alone doesn't validate the contract. Both parties need to sign. I've already signed my part. I've already decreed it. I've already established it. I've already released it in heaven. Now you need to sign your part. And the like is your digital signature. It's your public acknowledgement that you're entering into this blessing pact with me. It's your gesture of faith that seals the agreement between you and heaven. Furthermore, there's something practical and strategic about this. When you like this video, the algorithm understands that this content is valuable, and it starts showing it to more people. People who are in the same situation as you. Desperate people. People without hope. And when more people receive this message, when more lives are transformed, it generates a collective spiritual movement. And you, by liking it, are being part of that movement. You are helping other people find their kairos. And that translates into more blessings for you. Because what you do for others, I multiply back to you. So stop everything now and enjoy this video, because this simple gesture is your signature on the celestial contract for $777 million. Don't wait for the video to end. Don't put it off. Do it now. Because every action you complete is a layer of confirmation. You've already declared it verbally. You've already approved it internally. You've already witnessed it in the comments. And now you're sealing it with the physical gesture of a like. 3 actions completed out of 7. You're on the right track. You're doing exactly what needs to be done. And each step brings you closer to complete manifestation. When you are receptive, something happens in the invisible realm that you don't see, but is real. It's as if a light is turned on in the spiritual map. It's as if the angels responsible for your provision receive further confirmation that you are serious, that you are committed, that you truly want what I am offering. And the more confirmations you give, the more actions you complete, the more intense the celestial activity in your favor becomes. Doors are being opened. Paths are being prepared. People are being positioned. Resources are being directed. All of this is happening while you obey. Did you enjoy it? Then you've just completed the 3rd action. But now I need to explain something crucial before giving you the next actions. I need you to understand exactly why these seemingly simple actions have so much spiritual power. Now, let me explain something crucial to you. Let me show you why these actions, which may seem so simple, have so much spiritual power. Because I know your rational mind may be questioning, how can declaring words, writing a comment, or liking a video change my financial situation? And the answer lies in a fundamental spiritual principle that runs throughout human history, the principle of obedience. Obedience is the language of faith. When you obey something I command, even without fully understanding why, you are demonstrating trust. You are saying, I don't need to understand everything. I just need to trust in the one who is commanding. And this trust, this surrender, this willingness to do what I command, even when it doesn't make logical sense, That is what opens the floodgates of the supernatural. Consider Naaman. He was a powerful commander, afflicted with leprosy, seeking a cure. When the prophet told him to dip himself 7 times in the Jordan River, it seemed ridiculous. Dipping in a river? How would that cure leprosy? But when he obeyed, when he dipped himself for the 7th time, his skin became like that of a child. The cure wasn't in the water. The cure was in obedience. Think of Joshua before Jericho. Gigantic walls, a fortified city, an army impossible to defeat. And I told him, march around the city for 7 days. Just march. That seemed like military insanity. But when he obeyed, on the 7th day, the walls fell. Victory was not in human strategy. Victory was in obedience to divine command. Think of Peter, an experienced fisherman who had fished all night and caught nothing. And I said to him, cast the net on the other side of the boat. The other side? He had already tried every side. But he said, at your word, I will cast it. And when he cast it, he caught so many fish that the net was breaking. The abundance was not in the fishing technique. The abundance was in obedience to the word. Do you understand the pattern? I don't ask for difficult things. I ask for specific things. Things that test whether you will trust me more than your own logic. And when you obey what seems small, I release what is gigantic. When you do what seems simple, I manifest what is impossible. Your actions are not magic. Your actions are obedience. And obedience is the key that unlocks the supernatural. Every comment you wrote, every like you gave, every statement you spoke are spiritual seeds being planted. And I am the God who makes the seed grow. You plant obedience, I make miracles grow. You plant faith demonstrated in actions, I make manifestations of provision grow. This is the system of my kingdom. This is how the spiritual world works. Now that you understand the power of what you are doing, now that you understand that these are not empty gestures, but prophetic acts full of celestial meaning, you are ready for the next 4 actions. And these will further multiply the speed of your transformation.